This RV weighing in at about 18,800-ish pounds, 36 and a half feet long. It is 12 feet 7 inches tall. Takes a lot to slow down, takes a lot to get going. So be patient, take your time, make sure that you're not going under overpasses that are under 13 feet. They actually have apps just for RVs, so you can avoid bridges and roadways that are not friendly to RV travelers. It's not worth your life. It's not worth your family's life. Just be careful. When in doubt, stop. Take your time. You're in no rush. I would like to point out the visibility. You can see where the driver's seat is in there. Just imagine a straight line of sight from where the driver's head would be, and a straight line. That means it's right about here is your visibility point for things in front of you. So you can see there's quite a bit of things that you're not going to see if something runs out from this height over here. You're not going to see it. Again, be cautious. Don't let the other drivers panic you. Take your time. You're in no rush. This is a vacation mobile. This is a memory maker. You don't want to have the memories where, unfortunately, something happens. All right, a couple quick tips about the bunk here. Just want to show you the operation. First off, I leave the key in here. If you have children, just go ahead and put that on the keychain. This is off. Nothing will work on here. You put the key in, you rotate it to the on position before you can release it. You've got this overhead little latch. It's a safety latch. Make sure this bunk doesn't come down on your head while you're traveling. So simply just up and down. One case in point is we want to make sure that the front seats are in the reclined position, because this obstruction here will go ahead and rub on the armrest or the backrest here. So as you can see, I got a little repair work I got to do from the last visitor. But just make sure this is reclined and leaned back, and then simply just bring that down all the way, and it'll stop once it gets to the bottom. And then up here we have our two-person bunk, complete with the ladder. We just go ahead and put the ladder down over here. It's going to sit on the inside of that mattress right there, and then there you go. Simple as that. That's how you work the bunk. All right, here we are in the master bedroom in the back of the RV. This is your fuse box. This is how you access the breakers and the fuses. Here we are in the captain's seat. As you note, the RV is running. We do have the parking brake on. And I want to share with you here, when we go to our auto leveling system, turn the system power on. When we go to auto level, it's going to give me a warning and says the ignition is on. You cannot go ahead and auto level while the vehicle is on. So you got to shut the RV off, make sure your parking brake is on, and then you come over here and just hit the auto level. It'll go through a series of beeps, and what's happening right now is those legs are coming down on the RV, and it's going to automatically set the vehicle for you can't feel that shaking, but I can feel that shaking. So it's going to level us off, get us ready for camping. To retract it, simply we go the other way. Again, car off, parking brake on. We go ahead and hit all retract, and those are going to come up automatically. If you do want to manually adjust it, you can adjust here. I never fiddle around with that. That is something that is not something that I'm interested in doing. It'll go ahead and keep me level, and that's what matters to me. So we have your mirrors controlled, your heated mirrors in case you're traveling in the snow, but you're not going to run into that. Battery boost, which uses the RV's batteries to go ahead and send power to the engine's battery, so I can go ahead and start. This is if the battery runs low, if you're storing it. Hopefully, Lord willing, you won't ever have to use that while you're traveling in my RV. Up and down shade. In order for that shade to come all the way down, the vehicle does need to be off. You can only come down right about there to go ahead if you're driving to help keep the sun out of your eyes. You got your fog lights, your headlight control. You got your dimmer switch for your driver, for your dashboard lights. You also have your cruise control, as well as your infotainment system here. The Bluetooth passcode, if you want to sync your Bluetooth from your phone, play your songs. the passcode 000. I did I'm sorry, 0000. I did a hard reset on it. Not really a password, it's just the default setting on it. So find it, it's called SoundStream on your Bluetooth. Go ahead and put 0000 in, 4 zeros, and you should connect just fine. One of the things about this is when you turn the turn signal on, it does go ahead and show you the side camera as you go ahead and make your turns. It'll also turn into a backup camera along the way. Now we do have the optional table, the center table. I'm going to show you how to install that. As you can see, you have a locking pattern for the stand and the floor mount. You just simply slide that in there, give it a twist, and then you're going to tighten it down by screwing this in. Once that is done and secured, your table is just going to sit right on top of there. I should have got my tripod out to do this, but here, it just goes right on top. There's really no easy way to get there. Right, this seat does have a handle on the side, so you can swivel it around, but getting in and out is rather problematic. So I don't set this up for short trips. I set it up on a little bit longer runs. Here we have our television. Comes right out of the case there. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and get it all the way up. And there it is. Nothing says camping like a big screen TV, right? I do have the Amazon Fire Stick, that is connected here in the back. We can also hook up this DVD player. Hi. So up here in the cabinet, we have our owner's manual for the outside radio. We have the MiFi if you went with this, so I'll give you the passcode for the Wi-Fi. Then you also have your DVD player. Again, nothing says glamping quite like 3 TVs in an RV. 3 TVs kind of defeats the purpose of camping, isn't it? But when you're exploring creation, I suppose sometimes you need to just disconnect from disconnecting. Up here in the storage cabinets in the master bedroom, we do have our cleaning utensils. So you will find a dustpan and broom. You will find a Swiffer. You will find a cordless. Oh boy. Failure to plan, Jeffrey. You will find a cordless vacuum, along with the appropriate attachments. Yes, and another broom and dustpan. They're just up here for your cleanup pleasure. The RV does have 2 thermostats, one in the master bedroom, and then one right outside the master bedroom below your control panel. So simply put, you go ahead and cycle through. If you want the fan, low, high. If you want air conditioning, you set the temp. And if you want it to be on low, you got that too, auto, and then heat. So we're going to set that to off. So the AC unit has a separate unit here in the back for the master bedroom. And why not? Parents work hard. It's just not easy to provide for your family. It's not easy to go ahead and raise a family. So you deserve it. Over here we do have the main cabin thermostat. The only difference between this one and the other one is this one does have the option to run off of gas heat, which is the propane tank. I don't like to use that. I don't like to fill that. But you do have that option. So prefer to hook up and use electric. We have the accent lighting, which is fantastic. When the bump outs are out, that looks really nice, really sets that tough, hard knock camping experience. And then you have the switch for the main cabin lights. Up here on the control panel, there's many videos on this, but just to run it through, this is how you check your tank. So here is the natural gas level in the RV. It's 2/3 full. We have our battery. I have it fully charged for my renters for their experience. We have the freshwater tank. It is currently empty because people are going to be camping this weekend, not needing that potable water full. Black water, we'll show you how to flush that. Black water is the solid and liquid waste of the nasty. I'll just leave it at that. That's the nasty tank. And I'll probably edit this. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But it is empty. It is flushed. We have some treatment in there to make sure that that tank stays clean, fresh, and not smelly. Gray water is your sink water and shower water. So that right there is empty. So all tanks are empty. We have our slide out controls. We can extend and retract. This is the driver's side slide out. This is the passenger side slide out. We'll show you what that looks like here a little bit later. We do have the ability to auto start the generator. I typically manually do this. The batteries are fully charged, you know, so you do get the option to go ahead and start that. You can also set it to go ahead and auto start. If the battery levels get to a certain level, it'll automatically start the generator. But since most people are going to be glamping in campgrounds and not necessarily needing that, we will not go into that at this time. All right, in here we have our laboratory. You see we have special toilet paper, RV toilet paper only, please. No regular toilet paper. RV toilet paper breaks down quicker and is not going to stick and jam up the tanks. I do have the scoop of orange treatment for the black water tank. We simply just go ahead and open up the toilet. We go ahead and put it in there. We flush it. You know, there's no water in my tank, so there's nothing in there. Smells really good because I freshly treated it. So this is what I use to, after I flush the black water tank, I'll take care of that for you. You don't have to worry about it. Just make sure you flush your tanks. I'll show you how to do that. And should you need it after a day or two camping and you feel like that black water tank needs a little bit of something, take a scoop of that, put it in there. It's going to help break down the waste. It's also going to add a little fragrance in there. And then as you can see, there's, you know, this complimentary, you know, you are camping, you are sitting on a tank. So this has different, you know, settings for the amount of fragrance you want. You can turn that off if you don't like it. Also keep some Febreze back here as well. And with all areas of the RV, no smoking, including vapes and e-cigarettes inside the RV. Please enjoy the great outdoors. All right, here we have a nice little stove. I love this little stove. It's our 3-burner gas stove, just like a camp grill. You know, you have just the light feature, which turns the LEDs on the stove. And then you also have the actual let's cook something stove. You got your oven, you got your 3 burners, you got your sparker. Go ahead and set it to flame, and then you're just going to hit the sparker, and there you go. You are ready to cook. We have our switch in our kitchen for the ceiling lights as well as the power vent. Power vent controls this little rascal up here. You can see there's a knob that goes ahead and adjusts the speed of the fan, and that's an exhaust fan that is controlled here. Turn that on and off depending on what you're cooking. All right, we do like to keep our basics on hand. Salt and pepper, some cups, some mixing bowls, a hand towel. We also have some more towels here in the linen cabinet. Up above the microwave, we have our cooking rack, some trash, plastic bags there to fill your trash liners. You know, you have your sink. Inside your sink is going to be your washware. We also have under here some power wash Keurig, a single cup Keurig, some complimentary popcorn. I like hand sanitizer. In case you haven't noticed, there's going to be hand sanitizers located throughout the RV, just to make sure everybody stays happy and healthy. So, sink operations, you do have the top of the sink counter, which is smooth, and then you have the back, which is a little bit more coarse. Does make for a nice little cutting board. As long as you use the right side, don't use the smooth side. That's no bueno. So, you know, that is that. Inside here, we do have, you know, some more hand towels. We have a toaster. We also have some place settings for the table. You know, some glass. We wrap them inside this little, packaging here just to keep them from rattling, keep them from breaking. You know, just make sure they're washed and returned. You are more than welcome to use them. All right, here we are at the entryway to the RV, where you'll find the fire extinguisher. Lord willing, you'll never need that. You have your main power switch and your awnings controls. Those control the awnings outside the RV, sets up your campfire. This is the inverter. As you can see right now, there is a bypass going on because I have it plugged in, charging up the batteries. We have a full battery charge. This, if you're going to be parking at a campground and plugged in, you know, it's going to bypass that battery. It's going to charge it while you're plugged in. So green light means everything is go. So we do have the lighting controls, exterior lights 1 and 2. The power step can be turned on and off. When I park and set up for camp, I don't like the step coming in and out. I'm a rather impatient fella, and I like that step to just stay out, so I turn it off. And as we talked about, nothing says camping and roughing it quite like not having television. So everything on the outside of the RV has a lock. We want to make sure that we keep that lock through our travels. It just avoids theft and damage. So here you go. Another glamping feature of the Jayco Precept. You have your exterior audio controls, your radio, pretty self-explanatory. The DVD or CD player is behind the back of this, and your remotes. Again, nice to set up for a campfire, you know, go out, you know, your favorite football, baseball team, do some tailgating. Just make sure it's all locked up when said and done. All lockable external cargo compartments are locked and unlocked with the gray key. So I'm just going to take a minute, unlock all the compartments, show you what we got going on. On the passenger side or the entry side of the RV is most of your camping storage. So let me go ahead and open up some of our doors here. And here I have your the solo stove, the smokeless grill. Smokeless fire pit. You also have, you can see the red boards there. Those are cornhole bowls. Those are Ohio State cornhole bowls. So board, so you know they're good. An Ohio State camping canopy if you're so inclined. And then here is a nice little kind of pop-up hat. It's a sports umbrella, so if you're on the beach, wherever you go, you have that. Mat to lay out. We also have, I'm going to remove that. That's actually a movie screen. In this cabinet, you're going to have some plastic table chairs. You're going to have some entertainment. You're going to have the sandbags for the Ohio State Buckeyes cornhole. If you're a Michigan fan, I'm so sorry. But everybody gets their turn, right? We also have some outside camping accessories here, so you can set up and have some fun with the family. Here, this PVC piping. This is a flag, American flag. You know, every campground should have an American flag. The tools to go ahead and install that are up here in the first compartment. So if you take a look in here, you've got your sledgehammer, your board, and then we have our wedges for the wheels to set up so everything is secure. In this bin, you're going to have your camping chairs. By all means, enjoy. In the back compartment here, this one's a little challenging to lug out because you have the 3-burner camp grill, the Camp Chef grill. You've got folding chairs. Underneath there is the cast iron grill top. There's also a little 6-foot table. There's another table in another compartment that's an 8-foot table. But in here, you're going to see you got your camp coffee, always, you know, fun. You know, a Weber grill starter. You know, a little Coleman lantern. You know, some odds and ends. We do have the hitch here. I have a lock on it. There's no unauthorized towing in the RV. In the back compartment here, this is our where we hook up our electric. You can see I have it running on a 110 line just to be plugged in. We have an adapter for that. So it has a 50 amp, 30 amp, and a 110 volt adapter service. So you can see here, this converts down to 30 amp. Always use your surge protector, please. This is your surge guard. So when you're camping, you set this up to the power to the camp. You go ahead and you plug whatever you need. If you only have a 30 amp connection at the campground, you're going to go ahead and you're going to plug in the converter, and then you're going to plug in the adapter, and then that goes in, and then this connects to the RV. So again, 50, 30 amp, and 110 volt service. Everybody's favorite part of an RV. There's your black water, gray water tank. Here we have our black water valve and our gray water valve. We want to make sure that both these valves are closed while you're camping. The tanks are designed to fill up with the water and hold it in the tank until you're ready to flush it out. So you don't leave these open. You leave them closed until it's time to empty the tank. So to the right is the gray water tank. To the left is the black water tank. We want to leave those closed. We don't want to open them up at the same time. We want to flush the black water first, run the rinse cycle, and then run the gray water tank on. All right, we have two very important compartments in here. To the right is our low point drain and our connection to water. This is your city water hose. This is what you connect to the inlet, and you're going to have your guide up here. Pretty self-explanatory. You just got to set these to where you're going to set them. So based on what you're going to do. So if you're dry camping, which you're not doing, this is if you're running off the potable water. You know, this is to fill the tank, which you're not going to do. City water, this is what you want here. If you're hooking up to a campground, you're going to go ahead and turn the white down, the red up, and that's going to tell the system where you're drawing water from. Again, this hooks to your campsite. It has a feeder hole right down here. So you just run your hose through there, connect it, and set it up, and then you're done. This is for your external shower. There's a hookup in here for that. You do not need to worry about your pump. This is a light. This is the pump. Do not use the pump. That is strictly for potable camping. This is a connection for the black water. You never use your city water hose for your black water tank, because you can get some black water pushed back through the line, which is going to contaminate your hose, which is going to contaminate your drinking water. So please don't do that. In the separate compartment is a hose specifically for that. You're going to see all the things you need to hook up to your campground. You're going to see the setup to go ahead and set your waste pipe, so gravity is going to pull that down into it. And again, this hose here is solely designed and used for black water. What you're going to do when you're done camping is you're going to drain your waste black water tank first. So as I showed you in this compartment here, I'm hooked up to my campsite. This is closed. I open this up. You're going to have all that black water run through your hose into the wastewater hookup. And then once it's run out, you're going to take the black water hose located in this compartment. Everything in here, you know, outside of the RV and marine antifreeze for storing. This is for the black water tank. This hose with that black water, with that waste pipe, is for cleaning. So you're going to take this hose, you're going to hook it up to this. You're going to turn the water on while your black water valve's open, and that's just going to rinse that inside of that black water. You're going to keep it running until that water comes clean. So that water coming out of you'll see it here. You got this clear piece of your waste pipe. You're going to see that's running clear. Once that's running clear, turn the water off, disconnect it, let it run out, and then you're going to open your gray water tank. Gray water tank's going to rinse out the waste pipe. And then you're going to close it all up, disconnect, and you are ready to motor home. It was intimidating for me at first, frankly, learning how to use, you know, the tanks, but it's really not as difficult. All right, once you get your water hooked up, your water setting set to city water, pulling off water from your campsite, you're going to go ahead and burp the air from the line here, so there's no air in there. So one of the things I've noticed when driving this is a couple things. Like, I watched a lot of videos where they talked about putting markers on your window to show the driver where you're at in relationship to the lines on the road. Now, you do have your side mirrors, which takes your eyes off of what's in front of you, but you can see the sides of the RV and see how they're going ahead and lining up. But what I noticed is you don't really need lines on your windows or markings, because the RV has it itself. So see the line here with the center console. If your right side line is here, you're going to be okay. If your left side line is here, you're going to be okay. Again, this is a big RV. It was really intimidating at first for me to drive it. The steering does have a little bit of float to it, as you would expect. So you're going to be more active driving. If you're used to driving cars with adaptive, you know, lane keep assist, this is going to be different. This is going to be a throwback. This is going to take you back to your youth, if you're of my generation, to where cars didn't have any of that. When you hit a bump, it's going to move. There's going to be float. You got to actively drive. You know, we do have cruise control. It is going to notify you if you go 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. All right, so we're going to talk about tail whip and some of the physics behind the RV. So as you can see, we have the front wheel, which the driver's seat sits over, and then the rear wheel. But then you have a third of the section of RV that actually sticks out over the rear wheel. So I'm going to use a pencil to illustrate tail whip. So this being the front of the RV, you've got your front wheels here. This being the rear of the RV, you've got your rear wheels here. That means when you make a turn, your pivot point is your rear wheels. So tail whip is the back end of the rear of the RV swinging around. So when you make a turn, if you don't get past the pivot point, you could damage the side of the RV, and then the tail whip comes out and around. So you just got to be mindful of that when you're driving. Leave yourself plenty of room, take your time, use your mirrors, use your cameras, have a spotter if you're uncomfortable, for those tight spaces. Thank you for watching this orientation video on the 2020